coming from the server's perspective, after you've served your ball, I remember I told you that you have to wait for the opponent to return your ball before you can advance up. Now this next step, we're going to introduce you. You hear it heavily called the third shot drop in pickleball. Today we'll be referring to it as the long dink. The reason why I'm referring to it as the long dink, just for beginners, is because it gets confusing when people think of a third shot drop. You're trying to, when do you put it, when do you use that shot, what do I do? If you think of it just a long dink, you'll remember the principles that I taught you just from dinking to this shot here. It's the same thing. You're just extending that shot, that dink shot, same maneuver, just a little bit longer so as to get the ball a little further this time. Now this third shot drop, or long dink as we call it, is a shot that's used after you've served, and now the return has came back to you. Now this is your next point. This makes the difference of how the game is going to be played next. You want to get the ball back over the net from back here as your opponents are advancing, but you want to give them a ball that's unattackable for them, so they give you time to get up to your non-volley zone. A lot said, but let me show you. All right, starting with a serve. I'm coming back to the ready, letting him back. That was a short one. So usually when the opponent hits, you want to return the ball back further to keep me back. Because when you return it short, it gives me a chance to get to the non-volley zone. But I'll explain it. Let's try again for another serve. Oh, bad serve. Return it. So, good one. So on that, my third, that right there, it wasn't as long as a dink because the serve was a little short still. So I was able to put my third shot and drop it short in the non-volley zone of my opponent's side. That way it forced him to rush up and try to get to it. Ideally, you would, I'm gonna talk to you about the return of a serve next, so you can understand the idea of when someone serves the ball to you, you want to return it back to them deep as possible to keep them back. Return of serve. So you send it to me and I'll return it. The keys of return of serve, as I just mentioned to you. When you return the serve after being served to, wherever position it's from, you want the ball to go back deep as possible. You're going to have an opponent in front of you on your side, so you don't want to return it right to them. So on the serve, when you receive the serve, your goal is to return it back as deep as possible to your opponent without going past their non-baseline, but keeping it over the net and in the court. Oh, I'm supposed to keep playing. Yeah. Long serve, long return, and the whole key is advance to the non-volley zone after we return. You see, he can return anywhere, but as long as I want to get here, this is my goal, is to get right here so we can play the game. This is where pickleball is going to be played for. Now we're here. Now it's time to get the dinking game started.
Third shot drop. Long dink. On that is when I serve, he returns. Then what's the next shot that I want to do? I want to put that ball in the kitchen area, because at the kitchen, where the ball drops in the kitchen area, it makes it hard for my opponent to hit that ball back or making an attackable ball. The best that they're going to do is if they retrieve that third shot drop, is just to get the ball over the net. My objective, after I serve and receive the ball, my next shot, that's why it's the third shot, is I just want to hit that ball over the net into the kitchen area. That's the safest place where I want to place that ball. Anything further back, now it gives my opponent a chance to hit the ball and make it attackable, putting us on a vulnerability position. All that being said, let's see what that looks like. Long dink, third shot drop. Incorporating the serve with that. So here we go. Drop. Serve. Sorry, Rob. Now here it is. I'm just trying to put that ball in the kitchen area. Not the best shot, because if you notice where that ball hit, it hit behind the kitchen area or further back. I want to try and hit that ball on the third shot just over the net into the kitchen. Here we go. Serve. I hold and retrieve. Now, best spot right there. Now, what happens? Now, it gives us a shot, gives me a shot, and my partner a shot. That ball landed into the kitchen. He couldn't retrieve that ball. Even if he could, he couldn't hit the best shot because he had to get that ball over the net.